From spring to summer, we've had back-to-back seasons that have delivered great anime. Great shows such as Mushoku Tensei and JJK are back with top-tier sequels. Plenty of new promising shows that have been a treat to keep up with every week, but I'm not here to talk about all that. These 3 underrated shows have stood out from the rest of the crowd that I think are worth picking up. Out of the 3, Undead Murder Farce was quite the pleasant surprise this season, and dare I say a potential anime of this season. Coming from the director of Kaguya-sama, I expected good things from the series, but it turned out even better than I initially thought. The story starts off with a unique set of characters, a man named Tsugaru Shunichi, who's a combination of a human and an Oni, who's also referred to a quote-unquote Oni Slayer, and a mortal girl, Ayarinda, who's been living since the Heian period that's been reduced down to just a head due to a certain man taking her body away, and Shizuku, a simple badass maid who's a servant to Aya's family. Bit of an odd but unique trio of characters. At first I had no clue what route the series was gonna go aside from trying to find this mysterious man that took Aya's body. Little did I know this was gonna turn into a detective story dealing with the supernatural. In episode 2 they immediately hook you in with a murder mystery case involving vampires, and it pretty much turned out to be an Among Us case with a certain family. I really enjoy the type of duo Aya and Tsugaru are. Their personalities bounce off each other so well. Tsugaru's a fun, goofy MC, while Aya is a little more on the serious side, but she's able to take his jokes and they laugh it off together, although in a more sarcastic sense. Really love it when a show is able to blend in some comedy within a serious moment. It adds more colors to the characters, giving personalities in my opinion. The animation and art style feels refined in its own way. I know it's different animators and directors and whatnot, but compared to the studio's previous work I've seen, which was Sarazanmai, I love the diversity in animation the series has compared to their other works. In conclusion, if you're interested in a supernatural detective story and also want to check out other series that Kaguya-sama's director has worked on, Undead Murder Farce might be right up your alley. Helck so far for me is an interesting yet goofy series. If you think about it, it's technically kinda isekai since our MC Helck goes from the human world to the demon realm. And the interesting part is he's going against humans and teaming up with the demons. We don't know yet as to why, considering he was previously a hero. But I think the general assumption so far is that it has to do something with his brother possibly being killed. And maybe the humans just revolted against them, or they somehow led his brother to die. But that's all I can say about the plot for the sake of not diving further into spoilers. The character designs for the show is up there with other animes that have the best art and character design of the season. Vermilio's character design is my most favorite, and maybe a biased choice considering she's my favorite character in the series. I just love her personality and expressions, and just like the majority of the time she gets angry from other characters' stupid decisions, it's actually funny. I guess that also helps that her VA is Mikako Komatsu, one of my favorites. Helck is just goofy. He's the laid-back type who always lightens the mood and tries to be friends with everyone, but I'm sure there has to be something more to him underneath that quote-unquote facade he could possibly be putting on. So yeah, if you're looking for a new solid isekai to watch this season, I definitely recommend checking Helck out. With all the hype surrounded by the novel readers for this, I was looking forward to seeing how this would turn out. Reign of the 7 Spellblades really exceeded my expectations animation-wise and story-wise. In recent memory, Danmachi Season 4 is what comes to mind when quote-unquote Stellar and JC staff are in the same sentence. Obviously not a source reader, but I'm so glad on the same level that they put out their A-team and are showing passion for this anime. Now, I'm not gonna be like every other reviewer out there who puts this and Harry Potter in the same sentence, nor will I pretend that I've ever seen Harry Potter. But the concept of the series really fascinates me, and I'm talking about a certain specific concept revolving around the academy that our protagonists go to. 80% of the students survive and graduate, and 20% end up dying. Now this 20% either comes from them not being cautious enough and messing up their magic, resulting in them getting fucked, or in night they get trapped in the labyrinth. The academy was built above a labyrinth originally, so if a student is wandering around at night, that labyrinth appears. And there are higher year quote-unquote students who go after newcomers. Now what I'm not entirely sure about is if they're out for blood or if they're just trying to get them to work for them. Either way, you're still fucked. Lastly, it's the concept of if you fuck around, you find out. students messing with beasts and other shit that they shouldn't, and such actions backfiring on them. I don't know about you guys, but having an anime where an academy has high stakes to it if you make the slightest mistakes that could potentially cost you your life is such a fresh concept to me and makes this anime even more worth investing yourself into. Now getting to the characters, I love the diversity with all the main characters being from different backgrounds, especially one of the main girls in particular, Nanatsu. She's a samurai, and it's not really often you see a samurai in a high school. Her experience with being a samurai making her the strongest individual in the group and maybe the whole school. But at the same time, she's inexperienced with everything else when it comes to society, normal life, and having an education, and maybe not looking for her head to be cut off. Now aside, Oliver and McFarlane are very interesting. They're above the game, both seem to be quite knowledgeable about the academy. And it makes sense for McFarlane since her father is a teacher there. But Oliver seems to be a different case. When it comes to these three characters, I don't feel like they're necessarily bound by generic cliche isekai tropes that most isekais tend to suffer. Anyways, I'd be here all day if I were to talk about all the characters. To wrap it all up, if you're looking for an isekai which has actual interesting characters and that aren't just overpowered as shit, has an interesting world, and has consequences depending on your actions, with good animation, 7 Spellblades is 100% worth giving a shot. I really feel like this is going to be one of the better isekais of the year. If you've made it to the end, I would highly appreciate it if you could like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. And if this video gets 10 likes, I might do a worst summer animes video around the end of the month to the first weeks of September.